doesn't love honey? It's enjoyed the world over, but this is more than just a sweet treat. With tips and health benefits, here's nutritionist Andrea Donsky. Come on in. I'm happy we're talking about honey. Now, you had some fun.
I did.
You actually visited a bee apiary.
I did.
How was that?
It was absolutely incredible. Life-changing, really. To see them work and to see them make the honey, amazing.
Okay, well, we want a little bit of that adventure. Let's have a look right now of Andrea in search of the queen bee.
I always wanted to look inside a beehive, so we're at Dickie Bee's apiary. Pete, how come I'm wearing a suit and you're not?
Well, I am a fourth-generation beekeeper. Saying that, I probably will get stung, but I'm very comfortable working around bees.
All right, so what are we going to do today?
Today we're going to look in the hive. We're going to hopefully find a queen bee. Drones
smoking.
and
What are you
workers.
doing that for?
What I'm doing there, that smoke actually lets them know we're coming. So we're going to just look that. This is looking like a pretty good honey crop to me. This is where the bees will store their honey. You can tell there's a fairly good honey flow on because there is a lot of white wax. It takes actually 8 pounds of honey to build a pound of wax. So I'll get you to give that a little smoke.
Okay.
What we do, we actually drive the bees down in there. It allows us to pick the frames up without damaging bees. And just pop it up. This box is actually going to weigh 35 to 40 pounds. So you can see it's quite heavy. So give them a few good hard puffs.
Oh yeah, there we go, much.
That's good. So you can see this is a honey frame. It's all capped over. That is the honey that we're going to extract and we're going to eat. I'm just going to set this off on its edge like this. As long as you put them like that, the honey super is fine. The excluder keeps the queen bee down below. Because she knows she's quite large, she can't fit through this wire meshing here. So this is a frame that the queen might be on. And more importantly, her brood,
Wow.
her young larvae.
Incredible.
They pop out in 21 days.
And they all become bees. Now the workers are all female, right?
They are all female.
How many bees can you have in a beehive?
This hive in St. August, there's going to be 65,000 bees in here.
And how much honey could the 65,000 bees produce?
The average is roughly 100 pounds. There's a drone here. And,
So he's much bigger than
much
everybody
bigger.
else, right?
And why can I pick him up?
Because he doesn't stink.
That's right.
What do the drones do? What are the purpose of the drones?
Well, their only job is really to go on a date with the queen.
Going to
So I try and mark all my queens.
Is that it?
That is her.
There you go.
So this
Wow,
here is red.
she's huge. Can we try some of the honey?
Just take the whole thing off.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so delicious.
Isn't that great?
So delicious.
Wow. Okay, you are decked out like an astronaut for this, which was incredible. Like a lot of gear.
A lot of gear, but not enough because I actually got stung.
You still got stung?
I did. I got stung on my ankle, but it was okay. You know what? It actually didn't hurt as much as I thought it would.
Oh, it didn't?
No. It was
Okay, so
okay.
what did you say it's a life-changing experience because you actually got to see work happening. Like this is
Yes.
important work happening by bees, and a lot of people don't get to see that side of the story, do we?
They don't. So that was what was so incredible to be there when Pete took it out and we looked at the bees when they were doing their work. Yeah, it was incredible.
Very cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about honey.
Right.
Because a lot of us look at honey and we think, oh, it's a nice thing to add to a recipe. It tastes really nice and sweet, but there are a lot of nutritional benefits as well.
There are
there
so
not?
many. So we're going to start off with some trivia.
Okay, let's go.
True or false?
Yeah.
Honey never expires.
I think it probably does expire.
False. It actually does. It doesn't expire.
It doesn't expire.
I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, it doesn't
So you
expire.
can have it on the shelf forever?
You can have it on the shelf forever. That's right.
Okay.
So it never expires. As long as it's sealed properly and it's
Yes.
stored in a dry place, it will never expire. It lasts pretty much forever.
What about when it turns into that crystallized thing?
So great question. It's still okay to eat.
Oh.
It's still okay to eat, even though it crystallizes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's good to know because
Yeah.
I guess I would be dead by now actually if it did expire.
No, it
I
does.
keep mine on the shelf forever.
Forever. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yep, you're doing the right thing.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, what else you got?
All right, so I have I have an interesting statistic.
Yes.
1/3 of our global food supply is pollinated by bees.
1/3.
1/3. So for example, many fruits and vegetables like bananas and onions and garlic and lemons,
Yes.
as well as certain crops like nuts, flax seeds, and coffee all rely on pollination. and bees. Without bees, without pollination, we wouldn't have very much to eat.
Unbelievable. And we don't really think about that. We're always saying save the bees, but we're not talking about why you need to save them.
Right.
All of those foods would not happen without
They
their
would not
work.
happen. And bees are endangered as well. I mean,
right.
pesticides, pollutions, pesticides, diseases within the hive.
Yes.
So there are certain things that are killing them off.
Okay.
Okay, so there are over 300 different varieties of bees.
Okay,
So when we think
that's a
about
lot.
bees, there are a lot. When we think about bees, we think about the black and white, the bumblebees.
Yeah.
But the bees that make honey are called honeybees.
Okay.
So they're
that
a
makes
little bit-
sense.
Right. So they're a little bit different. They're more brown, so they're not that white. They're black and yellow. They're a little bit more brown. They look a little bit more like a wasp, but a wasp is yellow. This is more of the brown color.
Okay, yeah, wasps really freak me out.
Yes, they're little.
So these guys are good.
They're great.
They do a lot of work.
They're really great
for you. Okay.
And they're women, by the way, who do all the work in the hive.
What are the guys doing?
They're called drones, and the guys are literally there just to pretty much fertile the bee, the queen bee, to basically impregnate the queen bee. Yeah,
That's not
their
a bad job.
It's not their job, but that's all they do in the hive.
Okay, that's not bad. So we learn. Everyone's got good jobs to do. That's great.
So honey has a lot of medicinal benefits. So for example, it has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial benefits.
Okay.
It also has antioxidants. So if you know if you're getting a sore throat, what you can do is make yourself a cup of tea and then put in some honey. But what you want to do is wait till the water cools down a bit. Because if it's too hot, it'll actually kill off all those medicinal benefits.
Okay.
You can also drink the honey straight from the spoon.
Yes.
Now, you can use honey on cuts and wounds, minor cuts and scrapes.
Okay.
Certain zoos.
I've never tried that.
So certain zoos are using honey on their turtles. So the shells are made of keratin. Yeah, so they're putting honey on their shell to heal them from minor wounds. Yeah, isn't that incredible?
That is interesting. So
Right.
I eat Manuka honey when I have like a sore throat. What is that doing? Like, is it just coating the throat? Is that what's happening?
It's healing it because of
It's healing it.
because of all of its antioxidants and antibacterial, antiviral properties. So it's amazing. Honey's also great. It gives you energy. It's anti-inflammatory. So if you have any inflammation in your body, it'll help to reduce it, and it can aid with digestion. So if you have constipation, a spoonful of honey can help do the trick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard about it for constipation. All these different varieties here.
There are. So you go to the grocery store, it's a little overwhelming, right? You see honey on the shelf. So they're all great.
Yes.
It really comes down to preference. So are you game to try some?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Okay, so
I'm always game to eat.
Yay, all right, awesome. So the most popular type of honey is called liquid honey.
Okay.
So this is the natural state of honey in the hive.
Yep.
Isn't that
Yummy,
great?
very sweet.
Very sweet.
Like
So
a lot of flavor there.
what's great about liquid honey is that you can use it in recipes, you can bake with it, you can also put it in your tea like we talked about, and you can eat it from the spoon.
Okay.
So, and it's filtered, so you can see it has a nice uniform color.
Now this is all, I mean, it's all sweet, it's good for you sweet, but it's still sugar.
It's still sugar,
right?
yeah. It still
but it's
has
just
sugar in
a
it.
kind of good for you
It's a natural sugar.
Natural sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is organic honey. So organic honey refers to the forage area around the hive where the bees collect their nectar. So in order for honey to be called organic, and I'll have you try it, it has to have a 3-kilometer radius where they haven't sprayed any chemicals, no pesticides. So that way there's no pesticides on the actual flowers.
Right. Tastes very good.
I mean, okay.
Now, should you go for organic over other?
You know, when it comes to
kinds?
honey, I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
So I think it's also hard to tell if it's organic because, I mean, you know, the 3-kilometer radius. So I think when it comes to honey, you're safe to have conventional as well.
See, that's a good answer because I think people get a little freaked out over that. Like, does everything need to be organic?
No, definitely not on the honey.
Not
At
all the
least,
time.
in my opinion, not on the honey.
Okay.
So this is raw honey.
Okay.
So raw honey is a live food. It's raw in its crude form. Tastes great, right?
It's really good.
So raw honey is it's unfiltered and it's never heated above 95 degrees, which is the actual temperature of the honey in the hive.
Okay.
So
hot.
it can have, because it's unfiltered, it can have components of the hive, like propolis, it can have bee pollen as well as bee parts.
And bee parts.
Bee parts.
What do you mean by that?
Bee legs, it can have. But it's so great for you and it's so much nutrition. It's amazing.
All right. I love how you held off on that little information till the end.
I waited till you tried it first.
And bee parts. Like, what?
Bee parts.
I ate a leg.
So this is creamed honey. Now, creamed honey doesn't mean that any cream is added to it. It literally has to do with the packing technique of how the honey's been churned and cooled.
What's in here?
So that no bee parts.
Okay, it tastes good.
What's great about creamed honey is that it's great, it's spreadable. So you can put it on pancakes, on muffins, on toast, make sandwiches with it with a little bit of nut butter.
Oh,
yummy.
that's good stuff.
And this is my favorite type of honey. So this is called comb honey. Oh my gosh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
It's right off the honeycomb.
This is right off the comb. So this is how it looks when it's produced in the hive.
Oh, wow.
So it's raw, it's pure, it's unfiltered.
Yeah.
But what's amazing about it is just letting you know.
Unfiltered.
What's amazing about it is that the wax, you actually, when you eat it, you can chew it because the wax that helps to make the honeycomb has a lot of nutritional benefits as well and healing properties. Amazing, right? So this is what the wax
look at how
looks
that
like.
looks. You're actually looking like that's a piece of the honeycomb.
Piece of the wax, right? So the wax, which we're all familiar with, helps to make those beeswax candles.
Oh, cool. And you can eat it. And you can eat it.
Oh, I love it. It's yummy.
It's okay. Okay, very nice. Read the labels you say.
Right, so you want to read the label. When it comes to buying honey, buy local, buy from your local beekeeper. That way you know you're getting great quality honey. And look for unpasteurized on the label. Okay. You want to look for, it's either unpasteurized or non-pasteurized because pasteurization is heated to a high temperature, which gets rid of all those amazing benefits, right?
Yes.
You want unpasteurized. And one final tip, never give honey to a baby under 12 months.
That's right.
Whether it's pasteurized or unpasteurized.
I remember that.
Because it can have botulism spores and their bodies can't get rid of it. So, but anything over 12 months, you're good to go.
Yeah. Good information, Andrea.